Here is a long, deep, motivational, and educational story written in very simple English, following all your rules. The Old Man and the Small Boy. Hello, friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me your time. Time is a very precious thing. It is the one thing we can never get back. So, the fact that you are spending a few minutes of your time with me to listen to this story means a lot. Please sit back, close your eyes if you want, or keep them open. Just relax, take a deep breath in, and let it out slowly. Ned, now, let me tell you a story about a small boy, an old man, and a very big mountain. Chapter 1, The Boy Who Wanted to Fly. There was once a small boy named Leo. Leo lived in a small house at the bottom of a very tall mountain. The mountain was so tall, its top was always covered in white clouds. Leo would sit on his front step every evening and look up at the mountain. He would watch the clouds move around the top. He had a big dream. He wanted to fly. Every night he would close his eyes and imagine himself soaring over the trees, over the houses, over the river. He wanted to feel the wind on his face from up high. He wanted to see the world like a bird. One day he saw a man in the village square. The man was selling things from a small cart. He had bright, colorful papers and strange, beautiful boxes. Leo went closer. On one of the boxes, there was a picture of a man flying. He was hanging from a big, beautiful kite. Leo's heart jumped. His eyes became wide. He pointed to the box and asked, "What is that?" The seller smiled. "That, young man, is a paraglider. With this, you can fly like a bird." "Fly?" Leo whispered. "Can I really fly?" "You can," the man said. "But first, you must go to the top of the mountain. You can only fly from the top." Leo bought the box. He had saved his money for a long time. He ran home, his heart beating fast. He opened the box. Inside, there was a big bag of cloth and many strings. It looked complicated. It looked difficult. He did not know how to put it together. He felt a little sad. The dream was in his hands, but he didn't know what to do with it. That night, he looked at the mountain. It looked bigger than ever. The top was lost in the clouds. It seemed so far away. His dream of flying suddenly felt very, very small, and the mountain felt very, very big. Chapter 2, The Man at the Foot of the Mountain. The next morning, Leo took his bag and walked to the bottom of the mountain. He didn't know why. He just wanted to be closer to it. He wanted to see the path that went up. At the bottom of the mountain, sitting on a large, flat rock, was an old man. The old man had a kind face with many wrinkles. His eyes were clear and blue, like the sky. He was just sitting there, looking up at the mountain. Leo sat down on the rock next to him. He was quiet for a while. Then he said, "It's very big." The old man looked at Leo and smiled. His smile was warm, like the sun. "Yes, it is," he said. His voice was calm and slow. "But every mountain is big when you are at the bottom." Leo showed him the bag. "I want to fly," he said, "but I don't know how to use this. And the mountain is too big. I don't think I can climb it." The old man looked at the bag, then at the mountain, then back at Leo. "Can I tell you a secret?" the old man asked. Leo nodded. "My name is Thomas," the old man said. "And many, many years ago, I was a boy just like you. I sat on this same rock with a bag just like that. I wanted to fly too. The mountain looked just as big to me." Leo was surprised. "You wanted to fly? Did you ever do it?" "I did," Thomas said, his eyes twinkling. "I have flown many times. The wind has carried me over these trees many times. But it did not happen in one day. It happened one small step at a time. Would you like me to show you how?" Leo felt a new hope in his heart. He felt like he had found a friend. "Yes, please," he said. Chapter 3, The First Small Step. Thomas stood up. He did not stand up fast. He stood up slowly, carefully. He picked up a small, smooth stone from the ground. "This," Thomas said, holding the stone in his palm, "is your first step." Leo looked at the stone. It was just a small, gray stone. "A stone?" he asked. What do I do with it? You carry it, Thomas said. You put it in your pocket, and every day you come to this rock. We will sit here and we will learn. Leo was confused. He wanted to climb the mountain. He wanted to fly. Why did he need a stone? But he trusted Thomas. He put the stone in his pocket. For the first week, every day Leo came to the big rock. Thomas was always there. They did not climb. They just sat. Thomas taught Leo about the strings in his bag. He taught him how to tie the right knots. He taught him how to check the cloth for small holes. Discipline, Thomas said one day, is doing the small things even when you are bored. It is checking the strings every day, even when you just want to fly. The big dream is made of many small, boring tasks. Do the small tasks well. Every single day, Leo learned to check his equipment. It was not exciting, but he did it. Chapter 4, The Second Small Step. After 2 weeks, Leo was getting a little restless. He had learned about the bag. He had checked the strings 100 times. He wanted to move. Thomas, he said one morning, I have checked the strings. I know the knots. When can we climb? Thomas smiled. He bent down and picked up another stone, a little bigger than the first one. He gave it to Leo. Put this in your pocket, Thomas said. Leo did. Now he had 2 stones. Today, Thomas said, we learn to be still. Still, Leo asked. What do you mean? To fly, you must understand the wind. You must feel it. You cannot see the wind. You can only feel it. So, today, we sit here and we do nothing. We just feel the wind. So they sat. For a long time, Leo felt the wind on his face. Sometimes it was soft. Sometimes it was strong. Sometimes it stopped completely. The wind is like life, Thomas said softly. It changes. Sometimes it is strong and helps you. Sometimes it is calm and you must wait. Patience is learning to wait for the right wind. Do not try to fly when there is no wind. You will only fall. Wait. Be patient. The right wind will come. Leo learned to feel the wind. He learned to be patient. He learned that doing nothing and just waiting was also a kind of work. Chapter 5, The Third Small Step. Another week passed. Leo had 3 stones in his pocket now. They were getting heavy, but he liked the weight. Today, Thomas said, we will try. Leo's heart jumped. We will climb. No, Thomas laughed, a warm, kind laugh. We will not climb. We will run. Thomas took the paraglider and laid the cloth out on a small, flat field near the rock. He showed Leo how to hold the strings. Now, Thomas said, I want you to run. Run as fast as you can, straight ahead. Leo ran. The cloth lifted behind him, filled with air for a second, then fell to the ground. He tried again, and again, and again. He ran until his legs were tired and he was covered in sweat. The cloth never stayed up. He felt like crying. It's not working, he said. I can't do it. Thomas put a hand on his shoulder. You are learning, he said. You are not failing. You are learning. Every time it falls, you learn how to hold the strings better. You learn how to run faster. Making mistakes is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. Be afraid of not trying. Thomas picked up a 3rd stone and gave it to Leo. This stone is for courage. The courage to try again, even when you fail. Leo put the stone in his pocket. He ran again. He fell. He got up. He ran again. He was not flying yet, but he was getting stronger. He was learning. Chapter 6, The Fourth Small Step. After many days of running, Leo could make the cloth lift and stay above his head for a few seconds. He was getting better, but he was still on the flat ground. One day, Thomas said, today, we climb. A little bit. Leo was so happy. Finally, they walked to the mountain and started to walk up a small, gentle slope. It was not the big, tall mountain. It was just a small hill at its base. They climbed for 10 minutes. Then Thomas stopped. This is high enough, he said. Leo looked down. The rock where they always sat looked small. He could see the field where he had been running. He felt a little scared, but also excited. Now, Thomas said, you run down the hill. Leo was confused. Down? I want to go up, to fly. To fly, Thomas explained, you must first understand the feeling. You must feel the air lift you, just for a moment. Run down the hill and let the wind fill the cloth. Feel it. Leo did. He ran down the small hill. The cloth filled with air. For one single, beautiful second, his feet left the ground. He felt light. He felt free. Then his feet touched the ground again. It was only 1 second, but for Leo, it was everything. It was a taste of his dream. He ran up the hill and did it again. And again. Each time, he felt a little more lift. He felt a little more confident. That evening, Thomas gave him a 4th stone. This stone is for confidence, he said. Confidence does not come from nowhere. It comes from doing. You did it. Now you know you can. This is real confidence. Not ego. Not thinking you are better than others. Just knowing, deep inside, that you can do this one small thing. Chapter 7. The Path Up the Mountain. Weeks turned into months. Leo's pocket was now full of stones. He had stones for discipline, patience, courage, confidence, and many more. Every time he learned a new lesson, Thomas gave him a stone. One day, Thomas looked at the sky. The wind was perfect. It was strong and steady. He looked at Leo. Leo was no longer a small, unsure boy. He was stronger. His eyes were clear. He was ready. Today, Thomas said, we climb the mountain. They started early in the morning. The path was steep. It was hard. Leo's legs burned. He wanted to stop, but he felt the stones in his pocket. He felt the weight of all his lessons. He remembered the stone for discipline. Keep going, one step at a time. He remembered the stone for patience. The top is still far. Just focus on this one step. He remembered the stone for courage. It's hard, but I am not afraid to feel tired. They climbed for hours. Sometimes Leo would slip on a small rock. Sometimes he would trip. But he got up every time. He remembered that making mistakes was part of the path. Finally, in the late afternoon, they reached the top. The world opened up below them. Leo could see everything. The small house where he lived, the river, the trees, the rock where they used to sit looked like a tiny dot. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. Thomas was breathing hard, but he was smiling. He looked at Leo. You did it, he said. We did it, Leo said, looking at his old friend with love and gratitude. Chapter 8. The Flight. Leo took his paraglider out of his bag. His hands knew exactly what to do. He checked the strings. He checked the cloth. Discipline. He felt the wind on his face. It was perfect. Patience. He stood at the edge of the mountain. He looked down. It was a long, long way down. He felt a flutter of fear in his stomach. Thomas came and stood beside him. He didn't say anything. He just put a hand on Leo's shoulder. Leo looked at Thomas. He remembered the first day, sitting on the rock. He remembered the first small stone. He remembered all the running, all the falling, all the getting up again. He remembered the taste of flying down the small hill. He was ready. He took a deep breath. Then, with all his courage, he ran towards the edge of the mountain. He ran as fast as he could. He ran towards the sky, and then his feet left the ground. He was flying. The wind caught him gently like a giant, invisible hand. He soared over the trees. He felt the sun on his face. He felt the cool wind in his hair. He laughed out loud, a sound of pure joy. He was a bird. He was free. He was living his dream. He flew for a long time, circling in the warm air, before finally gliding down to the soft, green field at the bottom of the mountain. When he landed, Thomas was there, waiting for him. Thomas was smiling, but there were tears in his eyes. Tears of happiness. Thomas reached into his own pocket. He pulled out one last stone. It was smooth and white, and it shone in the evening light. He gave it to Leo. This is the most important stone, he said. This is the stone for self-belief. You always had it inside you. I just helped you find it. Leo took the stone. He held it in his hand. It felt warm, Now his pocket was full, but his heart was even fuller. Chapter 9, A Quiet Ending. The sun was setting. The sky was painted in beautiful colors of orange and pink and purple. Leo and Thomas sat together on the big, flat rock at the bottom of the mountain. They did not speak for a long time. They just watched the colors change. Finally, Leo spoke. "Thank you, Thomas, for everything." Thomas looked at the mountain, its top now golden in the setting sun. "Remember this day, Leo," he said softly. "Remember how you felt when you were flying. Remember how you felt when you wanted to give up on the path. Remember that every big dream is just a collection of small, honest steps." "I will," Leo promised. "And remember," Thomas added, turning to look at Leo with his kind, clear eyes, "the mountain will always be here. But the dream is inside you now. You can fly whenever you want, but you must always be willing to do the small work. You must always be willing to check your strings. You must always be willing to wait for the right wind." Leo nodded. He understood. As the last light of the sun disappeared, Thomas stood up. He gave Leo one last, warm smile. Then he turned and walked away, disappearing into the soft evening shadows. Leo stayed on the rock for a long time, holding the smooth, white stone in his hand. He thought about his journey. He thought about the old man who had taught him so much, not with long speeches, but with simple stones and simple tasks. He looked up at the mountain. It was still big. It was still tall. But it didn't look scary anymore. It looked like a friend. It looked like a path. The lesson for you, my friend. So, my friend, this story is for you. Maybe you feel like Leo at the beginning of the story. You have a big dream. Maybe you want to learn English. Maybe you want to start a new habit. Maybe you want to change your life. But the mountain looks too big. The path looks too hard. You don't know where to start. Listen to me carefully. You don't need to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to find your rock. You just need to find your Thomas. Your Thomas could be a book. It could be a video like this one. It could be a friend. It could be the quiet voice inside you that says, "Try one more time. Start with one small stone." Do you want to learn English? Your first stone is learning 5 new words today. Just 5. That's it. Do you want to be more disciplined? Your first stone is making your bed in the morning. Do you want more confidence? Your first stone is finishing one small task you have been avoiding. Put that stone in your pocket. Feel its weight. It is real. You did it. Then, tomorrow, pick up another stone. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. You will make mistakes. You will fall down. That is not failure. That is learning. That is how you get stronger. The wind will come. The right time will come. But you must be ready. You must do the small work every day. Believe in yourself, my friend. The stone of self-belief is already in your pocket. You just have to reach in and feel it. It has been there all along. A small request. Thank you for listening to this story. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this story made you feel something, if it helped you in some small way, I have a small favor to ask. If you liked this video, please click the like button. It helps more people find these stories. And if you want to hear more stories like this, if you want to learn and feel motivated together, please subscribe to the channel. It is free, and it means you will not miss the next story. You can also share this video with someone you love. Maybe they need to hear it too. Maybe they need a friend to help them find their first stone. Take care of yourself. Be patient with yourself. Believe in yourself. I will see you in the next story. Until then, keep putting one foot in front of the other. The path is waiting for you.